Okay, so guys, let's continue from where we stopped. Now, the last time we talked about font type, we talked about font size, we talked about how to bolden text, how to italicize the text, how to underline text, how to strike through a text, how to make a text a subscript, how to make a text a superscript, and we carried out some examples on that. We also learned how to use the increase font size and the reduce font size. Now we are going to go into other sections of the home tab. So let's get to it. Now, in order to highlight a text, now I'm talking change the color of the background of a text. All you need to do is this. You need to click at the beginning of the text you want to highlight and drag your mouse to the end of the text that you wish to highlight. You notice here I have Empire is the best thing to happen to the Nigerian youth highlighted. So all I need to do is click this icon here. You notice it is bringing popping up a menu called text highlight color. Now when I click down, it shows me different colors. So I can click on say yellow. You notice that the text in my document, the background of the text in my document has changed to yellow, which means that now if I want to do this without going to the home tab, I can just like click on the text here, then simply click this or click this. Once I click this, oh sorry, I didn't highlight, so I can just do this. It automatically does that. Now something one good thing about Microsoft Word is that there are so many ways to do a particular thing, so you don't need to be restricted to one way of doing something. Let's do this. Okay. Now, so in order to make the actual text in a document in order to change the color of actual text in a document, all you need to do is this. Just highlight the text that you wish to change the color. Then go here. You see a tab here called font color. Now, once you click down on that font color, you see multi different colors that you can change the text to. Let's say I want to change it to something red. You'll notice here that it has changed, the color of the text itself has changed to red. Now, there's a difference between text highlights and text color. You'll notice they are here side by side. This first button here that my mouse is hovering around is called the text highlights color. Then this button here is called the text color. This changes the color of the text itself, while this changes the color of the background of the text, not the color of the text itself. Hope we're clear? Okay, so now let's say I want to type a list. Let's say my grocery list. Let's say I want to go to the market and buy different things. Say let's say I want to buy rice. Let's say I want to buy books. Let's say I want to buy a laptop. Say I want to buy some furniture. Now you notice I've written down a list of items, but it's just looking like I just wrote them in different lines. Now, in order to make this an actual list, all I need to do is copy everything in this list, then click this button. You notice something has happened. It has put some kind of bullets before before each item. Now, another way to do this is like this. Another way to do it is this. Now, before I start to write the item, I can just click on what I want. In this case, I want it to be in the form of 1 2 3. Now let's say I just type this. Sorry, hold on. Let's say I type number 1. Let's say IT is the future, or I type work smart. You will notice that in the first case, I had written down my list in different lines. If you notice, they were in different lines, and I clicked on the button and I clicked on this bullets to create bullets so that I can itemize them. It can itemize them. But in the second case, which is this one, in the second case, which is this one, what I did was this. I simply clicked on the list, then I started to type. There are two different things. You can click on the list before you start to type, but if you have already typed all your items in different lines in a list, you cannot click. You can click on a list to make them actually a list, so you don't have to go and retype again. Please, there are two things. Both of them, this and this, are both lists. They are both bullets. Or this one is called number, but it's still a bullet. A number is still a bullet, but these ones are just bullets. They don't carry numbers. They are unordered lists. But in this case, they are ordered. We are putting them in terms of 1, 2, 3. We want it to be clear like that. Now, also, let's go into another part of this. Let's just assume that this text I have created here, I want it to be centralized. What do I mean by centralized? I want to start typing it from the middle of the sheet of the document. Now I can just click this to make this set text centralized. Always highlight, as usual. I will highlight the text, then click on this centralized button. You notice by clicking on this centralized button, it has centered the text to the middle of the document I'm working on. Now this button here allows us start from right to left. It's called align right. Now, if I want this text to be aligned right, that means it will start typing from the right to the left as against from the left to the right. So let's click on align right. Now, you notice this align right is starting from the right, then it's moving towards the left. So if I now say, and it is building the future. Now you notice here that I'm typing, the text is moving from right to left. But in this particular case, which is the default for Microsoft Word, this is called align left. You start typing from the left to the right. That means the text is taken from the left to the right. Align right takes from the right to the left. Now there's a text format called justify. Now, if you are going to justify a document, all you need to do is click this icon here. You see a justify. It is even giving you a drop down help, which is telling you exactly what to do. So when you click this justify button, what it does is it aligns your text to both the left and the right at the same time. What is it doing? It is ensuring that you have a straight line on your left and you also have a straight line on the right side of your document. You notice here that it expanded the first line of my text, because it is a complete line from left to right. So it's not properly aligned. But the bottom one was not totally aligned. Let's say, and it is building the future. N power is created by the federal government to equip the youths. Now, you will notice here that it has automatically aligned. If you check from left and to the right, you will notice that on the left it is properly aligned, and from to the right it is also properly aligned. So let's move on to the next one. Now, this is called line spacing. Now, you will notice here that between each line of my text here, there's a small space in between. There's a very small space that separates each line. Now, that is a function of line spacing. Now, if I highlight this text and click here, I can change the line. I can either increase the spacing between lines of text or reduce the spacing between lines of text. So that's what this does. Remember, this is called line spacing. So I can change it to say 1.0, I can change it to 1.5 and the likes. Okay, then let's move on. Now let's move on to this part. Now, in Microsoft Word gives you a feature that allows you allows you search for any single thing on your document. Now let's assume I have a document of say 500 pages, and I want to find everywhere that the word created is used. So I can just come here. You can see my mouse. I can just click find. Once I click on find, I can just click on created. Now you notice that by typing created on this navigation bar, it is already highlighting where I have written created. I wrote created here, and by finding it, it is showing me exactly where created is. And now if I have 5 different created written in my document, now the result that is shown here, if you can see my mouse, the result that is shown here is showing only one result, which means it can only find one created in the document. But if it has more than one created in the document, it will show the number of times that I have typed created in the document. Let me show you another one. Let's say I type created. Let's say I type created. Now you notice now it's showing me 2 results, because I have created here and I also have another created here. So that's what the find does. Now let's also say I want to replace a particular text. I have a document of 1000 sheets and 1000 pages rather, and I want to replace, say, the word I with me on the entire document. How do I do this? I can't go from page to page to look for every word me. So Microsoft Word has created a tool called replace. Now by clicking this replace button, all you need to do is, let's say I want to to replace created with say insightful. So now first we need to find the word we want to change. The word here is created. Now what do we want to replace it with? We want to replace it with insightful. Insightful. Now you notice here, now I can click on, you notice I have some buttons here. Now replace means it will replace the first one. It will ask you which one you want to replace, but most times you want to use replace all. Now if you use replace all, it will replace that text everywhere it is found in the document. It will replace that text, it will replace created everywhere it is found in the document. So if I click on replace all, you notice that it has shown me that two were changed. Now you notice that the word created on the document has been changed to insightful. Now there is also a very interesting feature in Microsoft Word. Now it is called redo and undo. Now when you want to undo a particular action that you have carried on your document, you can go to the top of the title bar. You notice there is a button here. When I hover my mouse around it, it is showing you undo replace all. That's the last action I carried. So if I click it, it undid what I just did. You notice insightful has been changed back to created. So let me highlight it so that you can see it clearly. Let me highlight it. Okay, now let's replace created with insightful. You notice it has been changed. So if I go here, if say I go here to undo it now, that's the undo replace all. Now if I click that, you notice it has been reversed back to created. That is the function of the undo. Then if I have undone something and I felt that I should have done it, but I have undone it, it's very easy. I can simply click this next button here, which is called redo. Now the redo actually allows you to do something that you have done before but you removed. But you have undone before. So let me redo it. You will notice that it has changed back to insightful. Now there are shortcuts for doing these things without even going to the title bar. Now in order to undo, to undo a particular thing in your document, to undo, press the control key down and then press and hold the control key. Okay, press and hold the control key. Press and hold the control key and then press Z, which is what we call Control Z. So if you press and hold the control key and press Z, you notice it has. Then if you press Y, it will redo. Now Control Y is used to, let's see, to redo. Now press Control Y. Now Control Y allows you to redo. Let's say I undo, let's say I press Control Z and I want to redo what I just undid. So I just press Control Y, it will redo it.